Ladies and gentlemen, I am Yusril and welcome to day 3 of the STO summer giveaway. Cryptic have switched from uniforms to small craft. Federation players can get the Yellowstone Runabout free of charge, and after 2 days of looking on and quite possibly mocking 23rd century fashion choices, the Klingons are finally being cut in on the freebie goodness, gaining access to the To'Duj fighter. There's still nothing for the Romulans though, we'll have to wait and see what tomorrow brings. Claiming these ships is as simple as ever. While the promotion is running, open up the Z store, go to the Ships tab and find the appropriate line. Hit claim and the deed is done, but do bear in mind that you'll probably need a free ship slot to make this work. The Yellowstone first. This is Cryptic's rework of the classic Danube class runabout from DS9. Aesthetically, and remember that this is completely subjective, I have to admit to not being a massive fan. There are a few elements that contribute to this. The forward double window is one. It's got a strut through the middle that basically ruins visibility for a single pilot, but if you compare it to the Danube's side-by-side arrangement, the size of the window does suggest that a two-man crew would have a rather, intimate seating arrangement. I'm also not sure about that overhang above the cockpit. I can see how it makes for a blunter, less streamlined look if you don't have it, but the resulting gap just looks wrong to me, and it adds to the overall impression that the design is too busy. It's got too many angles, nooks and crannies, compared to the functional, if rather boxy, Danube. However, that the warp, torpedo and deflector assembly looks like it was designed to detach is a nice touch, suggesting that the main hull can be used as a cheap and cheerful orbital lifter if interstellar capacity isn't needed. On to the numbers. Stats-wise, the Yellowstone is identical to the energy credit Danube. 1 universal ensign, tractor beam, 2 forward weapons, but remember that shuttle beam arrays have a 360-degree arc, 18,000 hull, etc, etc. So, aside from the fact that it's presently free, why would you bother with this ship? Because it comes with a rather handy little upgrade, the Tetrion Plasma Engine. This gives a hike to the ship's power levels via the Warp Core Potential skill, and it also grants a variant on the Eject Warp Plasma ability. And if you really can't stand the Yellowstone's looks, then not only can you switch back to the classic Danube model, but the engines can actually be yanked out and plugged into any shuttle or fighter that you own. In effect, the Yellowstone's a support and control shuttle. You have the tractor beam and the plasma cloud to snare opponents and set them up for the rest of the team, especially if the rest of the team is in fighters and packing cannon. Fighters like, for example, the To'Duj. This has 16,500 hull, battle cloak, dual disruptor cannon, a torpedo launcher, staggeringly high base turn of 33 degrees per second, and an aesthetic designed to make it clear that whoever's in front of this ship is about to have a very bad day. I actually quite like the look of the To'Duj. The only change I'd make would be to move the cannon inboard a bit, integrating them into the main wings rather than just having them stuck on the ends, and perhaps bulking up the main hull a little, which does look a little fragile to me. Like the Yellowstone, the To'Duj comes with a single ensign universal slot, and while there is a reduction in hull strength, it's a reasonable price to pay for a battle cloak and a higher turn rate. Again, there's no special console, and there's no special engine either, but with 2 tactical consoles, disruptor coils methinks, an engineering console for armour or perhaps the Borg module, and an innate rapid-fire 1 ability, the thought occurs that going for bells and whistles would simply confuse the kill everything and die gloriously mission of this craft. Not that I'm suggesting Klingon pilots are easily confused, of course, so can you please put the batleths down? Actually, you know what? Borg set on the To'Duj, that's not a bad idea. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Yusril, and that has been the 3rd day of the STO summer giveaway. You have until 10 AM Pacific Time, 1 PM East Coast, 1700 Universal, 1800 BST and 1900 CST to take advantage of these particular giveaways, and I'll see you tomorrow, after I've seen a certain Klingon about a certain set of upgrades. Farewell.